Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video. It's been a while since I've released one. I can't remember exactly how long, but maybe pushing over the week or so. And the reason for that is not every single poem deserves a YouTube video. Not every single poem is so intricate and complex that there is something to discuss from it. And and yeah, that's why the last few poems that I've released, that's why I've not made a YouTube video. And as you can see today, I've decided to change the angle a little bit as well. And that is something I plan on sort of just tweaking with in the future as well, just working with different backgrounds. And yeah, just to give you something different from all aspects, from the setting of the videos, and the context will be different. The context is different from on every single video. So the purpose of this video is to discuss a poem that I've released, which is called Meditations. And for those that know, it has absolutely nothing to do with the book by Marcus Aurelius, which is also called Meditations. And that is a highly recommended book for general life advice. I've read about half of it. I think I was reading it maybe about a year or 2 years ago. And I must have read, yeah, I think I've read about half or three quarters. And there is a lot of good and solid advice in there, which can be helpful to many of us because of the various situations that it discusses. But yeah, this video absolutely nothing to do with that book. This is to do with a poem which is called Meditations. Now, I've also been thinking as well, the right way to start these videos is by reciting the poem itself. So I've got the poem here right in front of me, and what I would like to do is recite the poem first, and then we'll go on to discuss it. So it's called Meditations, and so it was during my morning meditations I realized I've always got this anxiety in my chest. I don't know why. I don't need you to tell me. Like I listen to you anyway. You've not walked a mile in my shoes. Maybe that's why I do what I do, constantly putting my life on the line. I've got all this energy to expend. I don't mind it too much. It allows me to live from moment to moment as life is meant to be. I don't like thinking about the future. I don't know where mine is heading. Even if I have these grand delusions, I don't know if they'll bear fruit. At least I'll be able to say I lived, constantly put my life on the line, the purpose behind the anxiety. This is not even a poem. I just wanted to get some thoughts out to give you a better idea of who I am, why I do the things I do. I don't even need you to understand. There's a deeper meaning behind this. I just want to encourage you to be you. Now, that is the poem itself, and reading it again after having released it around, I think maybe released it around 6 or 9 days ago, I'm quite surprised I've not already made a video about it because, yeah, there is actually quite a lot to discuss from this poem. First, the story itself, so how the poem, how it arose, how it came about. So, so I meditate, and it's one of the habits that I've been trying to implement into my life for a very long time, and I'm consistent with it sometimes, and sometimes I just completely forget about it. But right now, I'm at a stage where I am very consistent with it. I meditate in the morning and I meditate at night, and especially meditating at night, I wouldn't recommend to do it before bed, like immediately before going to sleep. I would recommend maybe an hour or so before bed, and I promise you, you will have a beautiful sleep. Every time I meditate before bed, I have a deep sleep, and I wake up just feeling a lot better. So yeah, meditation highly recommended. And even in the mornings, if you do have the time to meditate in the mornings, it does take a while. It does take a bit of time to see the benefits of it. But the benefits that I experience is I'm a lot more aware of myself. I'm a lot more aware of my thoughts. I am more present. And if there is a calamity to come my way, by a calamity I mean the mind sort of becoming slightly disillusioned, or the mind losing grips on itself through external situations, I am better equipped to handle them situations, and I think that is because of my meditations. So, yeah, so during when I wrote this specific poem, I meditated longer than I usually do. So usually I meditate for about 15 minutes in the morning, but this time I thought to myself, you know what? Let's do half an hour. So I meditated for 30 minutes, and as I got further into the meditation, I could just feel this anxiety in my chest. And then I'm just thinking, why is this anxiety here? Why is it always here? Because I feel like it's an emotion that I experience quite a lot. Sometimes it's very subtle, very subtle, or sometimes it can be very, very expressive. And yeah, in this particular time, it was a quite a strong emotion. I could just feel this energy in my chest, which is just whirling around, and I'm not able to come to terms with it. And that is what led to the writing of this poem. That is what led to this poem being constructed. After I finished my meditation, simply wrote the poem. Yeah, and as I go on to say in the poem, I am just getting out my thoughts. I was literally just getting out my thoughts, and that led to this poem. Now, to dissect it a little bit, so yeah, so in the first verse, I've discussed the first half already. Now, the second half of the first verse, I don't need you to tell me, like I listen to you anyway. You've not walked a mile in my shoes. Now, there's a few aspects to this. One is I am very stubborn. There is very, very few people in my life whose advice I will genuinely take. And it is a flaw within me, and it's something that I accept that unfortunately I am very stubborn. I tend to learn from my experiences rather than learn from the advice of others or the experience of others. And the second point to discuss on that is also the fact that now I have to I have to put this in the right words. So let me have a little think. Hmm. Yeah, it's with me, I don't really like discussing my issues with people, whatever's going on inside me. I don't really like talking to people about it. And one, because I feel like people don't really understand. Two, I feel like I don't know if people are listening with a genuine and attentive ear, whether they are listening with a care and understanding that I need. That's been my experience of trying to speak to people about whatever's going on within me. So I just prefer not to. So I prefer to write instead, simply put. And by me writing about whatever's going on, the good and the bad, and by me putting it out into the world, then whoever wants to listen to it and whoever wants to sort of try to understand what I'm going through, they can, rather than me imposing myself on them. And the second verse, maybe that's why I do what I do, constantly put my life on the line. Now, this is something that has always been within me. I've got another poem which I wrote maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. And there's a line in there which says, I live for the gung ho moments. And I do. I live for moments that make me feel alive. I live for moments where I am asked to come over to to face my fears. I am asked to be courageous. I am asked to be brave. And yeah, I live for the moments. Them moments make me feel alive. For me, moments where I am asked to put my life on the line is the meaning of life for me, because that is where I feel completely alive. I feel like yes, this is life, and this is where what I should be doing in this very moment, just being present and fully immersing myself into whatever the situation is. And I don't like thinking about the future. I don't know where mine is heading. I do not like thinking about the future at all. Maybe because I'm at a time in my life where my future is a little uncertain at this moment. So, uh, yeah, I don't like thinking about it too much. And even if I have these grand delusions, by these grand delusions, I mean my poetry. I mean the impact that I feel my poetry can have on the world, and the impact that I feel my words and my poetry can have on people. That is the grand delusions that I have. I would love for one day for my poetry to help people who have gone through similar situations as me, who are going through any trials and hardships in their lives. I would love for people to say to me, you know what, we read your poetry, we watched your videos, and it helped us gain a better understanding of ourselves and of life. So that is the grand delusions that I have. And at least I'll be able to say I lived, constantly put my life on the line, the purpose behind the anxiety. Now, yeah, what I mean there is, so this anxiety, because it's always there, then it feels like I've always got something to overcome, some type of a fear to overcome. I'm not saying I'm always anxious. I'm saying that I'm anxious a lot of the time. I am anxious a lot of the time. And I'll give you this one situation. So I remember there was this one situation. This was when I was at university. I was living away. And I remember I was in a room full of people. There must have been about 15 people there, some strangers, some I knew. And I felt so much anxiety that I just walked out the room and I went back to my own flat, to my own apartment, because yeah, there was something inside me that just did not I did not want to be there. And but but yeah, there could be many meaning, many layers behind that. It could be the fact that maybe I was just not able to be myself, and maybe I was trying to fit in with the wrong people. So yeah, there could be many reasons for me walking away. And the final verse. This is not even a poem. I just wanted to get some of my thoughts out to give you a better idea of who I am. And the final two lines is what I really want to discuss. There's a deeper meaning behind this. I just want to encourage you to be you, and that will always be one of the priorities of my poetry. Is to encourage myself to be myself and to encourage you to be you. So what I mean there is, despite the anxiety that I feel, I still have something within me that which allows me to be myself, which allows me to constantly overcome any fears, which allows me to be brave in the moments that I need to. And that is what I mean. That is the deeper meaning behind this anxiety. And what I'm saying to you, dear viewer and dear reader of the poem, what I am saying to you is that yeah, whatever you've got going on in your life, just embrace it. Honestly, embrace the situation, whatever it may be, and just put your fears to a side, get over them, and that will then allow you to become one with life, to be in tune with life. And there's another story which has just come to me as well. Well, it came to me just before I was about to record the video. So, over here, this is alopecia. And since I've had this for the last 5 6 months, and I've run into loads and loads and loads of people who have had they've had a similar issue. They've had alopecia, and all these people have given me their recommendations on to try this and to try that. And some things I have tried, and the how it is working as well, because my hair is actually growing back. But the cause of this is most likely stress, and yeah, I have probably been very stressed. Not the I would say maybe from 2024, the full year, I was probably completely just stressed. I was always in stress about everything, literally everything, and this is the result of that. And there's a shop that I go to to for grocery shopping, where I end up going about 3 4 times a week. Once is too much for me, but I end up going 3 4 times a week. And there's a guy that works there who we got talking because he saw this and he's got it as well. So we got talking and we got talking because of this. And yeah, so every time I bump into him, we have a small interaction, and then the conversations they've been getting lengthier and lengthier. And then recently I was speaking to him, and then we were both just saying that, yeah, this is caused by stress. Then I go to him, I said to him, "Are you okay, bro? Are you like, is everything okay with you? Is something causing you stress?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm always anxious. I've got a lot of anxiety because every time I have to make a decision, because he runs a business. He said every time I make a decision, I'm questioning myself 100 times and asking myself, did I consider this? Did I consider that? Is this going to work? What about this factor? What about factor X, factor Y?" So, So yeah, it's and then I said to him, yeah, I get anxiety too, and what I do, I meditate. I meditate, and I said to him, yeah, like you just have to find a way of dealing with it. And one thing that I feel has helped me to deal with it, to deal with just coming to terms with myself, is spending a lot of time in seclusion, spending a lot of time by myself. Because when you spend a lot of time with just yourself, your mind, and your thoughts, then you can understand the mechanisms of your thoughts, why they arise, where they are leading to, and then that then allows you to intervene and shape your own future, shape your own life, and it also allows you to get to the bottom of what really is within you rather than what has been programmed within you. Mm, yeah, a lot of interesting points for you to consider. And yeah, that is all I've got to say on that. So I wasn't actually going to make a YouTube video on this, but then you know what? Having gone through it, I'm glad I have, because there is quite a few things to discuss. And whoever is watching, I hope that you can take something from it, something that may be of helpful to you or helpful to someone around you, because that is what I would like my poetry to do. I would like love my for my poetry to help the people, because I'm all about the people. So thank you very much, and I would like to also thank you to someone in my life who encouraged me. He sort of gave me a kick up the backside to say, you need to continue making these YouTube videos, because I wasn't planning on making a video for this one. So yeah, my dear friend, you know who you are. Thank you very much. And I would like to leave you on that. Have I got a question for you today? Have I got a question? I think I have. I'm just letting the thoughts come to me. Have I got a question here for you today? So let's see. Is there something that you are going through, or something that you have gone through for a while, that is always just sitting with you? Is it a type of emotion? Is it a type of situation? And how can you use that to your advantage? That is all that I've got for today. Thank you very much as always.